Welcome back, trainers. So we have a new update, version 0.133.0, and a few things have changed. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, we have the weekly progress that will appear right here, as you can see. And then if we back out, my buddy image has changed from closer to farther back, I do believe. So you may want to check your buddy once you get this update to see how it looks, as well as several other Pokemon. And we're going to take a listen to the new PvP music, but first I want to show you something else within the Pokemon here. I'm just going to go ahead and hit the CP for 2500 because more of these have their secondary move for me, which we can have a better understanding here. So it's going to show you the stats for your gym and raid attacks, and then for your PvP ones right underneath. Now the only difference that I'm seeing between the two is the quick move, literally between everything. Alright, now it doesn't show the weather boost for the trainer battles. Most of the time it's just going to be for the quick move. It's just dropped a few points. But as far as the charge moves, everything else is staying the same. Pretty neat looking at all these moves here. So we do have that, I suppose. But like I said, nothing has really changed on anything as far as the PvP description for the attack as opposed to the raids here. It's quite the same. So thought I'd show you guys this really quick. And we also have new moves within the game. Very exciting stuff. I'm pretty sure they're going to be for the Gen 3 starters. Okay, so let's go ahead and shiny check the shop it. Alright, now let's go ahead and listen to that PvP music to see what it sounds like. Alright, so there is the new PvP music, very Pokemon-esque. I like it, at least it's a change from the typical same old one. Now, another thing that has changed is the appraisal image of your team leader. So let's go ahead and look at mine. So it looks just, a little bit cleaner, more HD, I suppose. And what she says, or he, for your Instinct team, it doesn't really change, it's the same thing. Alright, so another new feature is going to be exclamation point, and then the move. It'll help you remove that specific move so you can see every other Pokemon that doesn't have it. So for now we have Shadow Ball, which we're going to see all the Pokemon that do have it. And that's going to be my Gengars at the top with the highest CP. And I've also, of course, put in the name Gengar, so it's going to pull up all the Gengars. Now, if I put the exclamation point in the beginning before the @ let's go ahead and see what happens here. Make sure there's no space. And now I have all my Gengars without Shadow Ball. Just another little neat search function, because seeing that people are stacking up so many Pokemon within their inventory, getting very specific is going to be nice for some people who are trying to specifically do that, right? So as you can see now, no Shadow Ball. So that little exclamation point will help you eliminate that move. Now if I go ahead and remove Gengar, let me go ahead and show you what happens. Now it'll just bring up every Pokemon that does not have Shadow Ball. Simple as that. So, just another neat little search function for Pokemon Go. Right, so now we're over here on Trails' Twitter. We have Blaze Kick, Muddy Water, and Razor Shell. Okay, now those were already in the game. Those are just the sounds that have been added to the new version here for Android, currently at 0.133.0. That is the one that I was showing you those new features on as well. Some people are saying these are for the Gen 3 starters, Blaziken for Blaziken, Muddy Water for Swampert. But you know, other Pokemon can learn them as well. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. I'm not going to make any assumptions or throw anything out. But I mean, it's fine to, theorize for sure. I mean, that would be great if we got a new set of Community Day moves for the starter Pokemon, considering it's been the same all around. They are strong moves. I would love Hydro Cannon on a Swampert and also Blast Burn on a Blaziken. So it's just up in the air. We'll see what happens with it. So I wasn't too confused about Blaze Kick or the Muddy Water. I was like, okay, Blaze Kick for Blaziken possibly, and Muddy Water for Swampert. Sounds good. But then Razor Shell was kind of scratching my head like, well, that doesn't make any sense. That is a Gen 5 move. I mean, clearly you have Pokemon that can learn this here, right? But Gen 5 starter, Samurott. Let's go and look at this. And I was discussing whether or not we can see Tempig possibly coming in at the end of this year. Let's get rid of that. Because, I mean, it is the year of the pig. And I might be getting a little bit ahead of myself. So don't get too hyped or anything. It's just a possibility. Like we just went over, other Pokemon can learn these moves. But being the year of the pig, I can totally see them releasing Tempig for us into Pokemon Go. Possibly for like a New Year's thing. Literally at the tip of the end of the year. But still, we have not even seen that many of the Gen 4 Pokemon. We have a good amount, but there's still quite a bit left. Including other generations that we still have not got. Including Smeargle. So we can't get too ahead of ourselves, but that's just a little food for thought. Let that sink in. Year of the Pig, Tempig, Samurott with Razor Shell. Who knows what they have in store for us. If you don't know what this is right here, this is the water starter for Gen 5. There you have some of the new features for the new update trainers. I am currently on Android, so the version is going to be 0.133.0. Not too sure about iOS, but I'm sure it'll roll out soon enough. But what we really need to get excited for is that new Pokemon Palkia coming in later today, guys. So get hype. I am pretty excited for that. That should be amazing. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at my Deoxys Solo using 6 unique Dark-type Pokemon. Alright, now this wasn't an ultra speedrun. I was just having fun with it. So thank you for watching, trainers, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.
Rain beats.